Haha, how you folks doing? It's time for the Elimination Chamber predictions video. And I know y'all been looking forward to this one. Well, what you have? Anyway, well, here we go. Haha, yeah. So the pre-show, let's start off with the pre-show. Brodus Clay and Tensai versus the Rhodes Scholars. Yeah, two fat PG slobs versus the tag team that said they were going to break up 2 weeks ago. And they did, you know. They had a singles run and shit like that. Yeah, job at John Cena. Great singles run there. Let's give them a round of applause. And here they are, tag teaming 2 weeks later. Where's the logic? Where's the consistency? Yeah, was I sitting on it? No, where's the... No, I wasn't sitting on it. Fucking stupid motherfucking bookers here. The fucking writing is just fucking horrible. They say a tag team's gonna break up and they're back together, teaming 2 weeks later. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, I see Brodus Clay and Tensai winning this match because they're two PG motherfuckers. They dance with kids. They ain't gonna lose to two jobbers. I mean, I know Tensai and Brodus Clay are jobbers, but you know, at least they're PG jobbers, so they ain't gonna lose this match to these two schmucks. I'll tell you that right now. Then we've got the actual show. It's Caitlyn versus Tamina Snuka for the Divas title, and this is gonna be a great technical match. There's gonna be a lot of wrestling holds, a lot of unique holds you've never seen before. It's gonna be an epic clash. You know, it's probably gonna go like 30 minutes. It's going to be, you know, some of the best wrestling we've seen in years. It's going to fucking suck my cock. Let's be honest here. Where the fuck did this match even come from? Are they in a feud? What the, you know, it just popped up on the card out of nowhere. You know, Dolph Ziggler doesn't have a match on the card, but somehow Tamina Snuka does. They haven't even shown the Divas in 2 weeks on Raw. And all of a sudden, you know, now it's time to re-debut them at the pay-per-view. I see Caitlyn winning this match because the Divas division isn't worth a damn, so it's not going to matter if they change the title or not, and they're not going to give it to Tamina because she's fucking ugly. Then we got Cesaro versus The Miz for United States title. You know, I don't understand why they keep this feud going. No one's interested. No one's talking about it. It hasn't produced good matches, yet they still continue it. You know, the match was fucking garbage. At the pre-show for the Royal Rumble, and they're gonna have another match. All the promos leading up to this match with Ric Flair, even Ric Flair couldn't even make this feud interesting. And you know, here we go, and I see Cesaro, you know, winning this match because I think actually Cesaro has more of a future than The Miz does. You know, you could see that the WWE is giving Miz a lot of time on TV, but they're not ready to make him into, you know, a big star again because they just don't trust him, and he's fucking lame as a babyface. It doesn't matter either way. The match will suck, and Cesaro will still be the U.S. champ. No one's going to give a shit either way. If The Miz wins the title, no one is still going to give a shit. It's not going to change wrestling. Then we've got Alberto Del Rio versus The Big Show for the world title. Now this match, I see Del Rio winning it, and I really think that at the end, if it doesn't happen now, it will probably never happen. But Ziggler will cash in after this match, and it has to happen. Because let me explain something. How the hell do you go from having 2 last man standing matches? That sucked. There better not be any fucking duct tape involved in this match. I'll tell you that right now. If that happens, I swear to God, I will fucking take my laptop and throw it across the fucking room. Onto a mattress, because I don't want to break my laptop. But you understand. Anyway, the thing is, how do you go from having 2 last man standing matches, no gimmick match, it's a big match, supposedly epic, and then how do you follow it up with a normal fucking match? I mean, what kind of, you know, build-up is that? 2, you know, last man standing matches, and then they just have a normal match. Not a cage match, not anything that's brutal, just a normal wrestling match. And you know it's going to suck because it's going to suck by design because the Big Show's in it. So, you know, a normal, boring match, the only way they can make this exciting or newsworthy is to have Ziggler fucking cash in. And why not? Then we've got the SmackDown Chamber, or the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match. You've got Jericho, Kane, Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry, Randy Orton, and Jack Swagger in there. I personally think that Jericho is going to win this match. Because actually, just today, before I even made this video, I just made this fucking theory like 10 minutes ago. I think that Jericho and fucking Ziggler are going to have a match at Mania. Why? Because from a feud and build-up perspective, it would make the most sense. I think it's because that's why they continued the feud in the Royal Rumble with Jericho. Also they allowed Jericho to have a good match. Oh, you're allowed to have a good match, Jericho. Go out there and have a good match. We're not going to hold you back this week. He's had 2 great matches so far. Winning the Chamber would be a nice reward for Jericho. And then, Ziggler, who already cashed in, they could have their match up at WrestleMania. And actually, that wouldn't be too bad of a main event, actually. That would be interesting to see them continue the feud into Mania. And it would make the most sense. I mean, I really don't see any possibility in anything else, from who's in the Chamber. It would make the most sense to have Jericho in there. You could have Mark Henry in there, but he probably won't. He's probably going to still continue his feud with Orton or some shit like that. Then we've got the Team PG versus The Shield. Now, I know Team PG is going to win this. Sheamus, Cena, Ryback. There's no way that John Cena, even if he doesn't get pinned in this match, is going to be on a losing team headed into WrestleMania with his matchup against The Rock. They are going to do everything within their power to make sure that John Cena looks strong in this match, even if it means completely destroying and burying 3 up-and-coming stars. And that's exactly what's going to happen. There was rumors that this was also going to be a chamber match, but it's not going to happen. They're going to just have a normal, fucking 6-man tag. So, I definitely see the PG motherfuckers winning this one. Then you've got the main event for the WWE Championship. You got The Rock and CM Punk. And it's quite obvious that The Rock will win this match too. Now, there was a lot of talk about there being a 3-way at Mania, but it's probably not going to happen. They will do anything within their power to make sure that the fucking Rock Cena match happens at Mania. No matter how many people are bitching and just saying, no, please do not have another one of these matches. They are going to do it anyway. And, they're going to kill all the fucking possible heat they can on CM Punk. They're just going to throw him in a match against The Undertaker at Mania because, that's just what they think we want. They know what we want, but they don't want to give it to us. They're going to make sure that Punk stays out of the main event at WrestleMania, even though that's what he deserves. He deserves to go on last, but they won't give it to him. He'll go on second to last or some shit like that. So, there you go. There's your fucking chamber predictions. It's going to be a disappointing pay-per-view. If Jericho wins the chamber, that will be exciting, but that will be the only thing exciting. In my opinion, I think this is a pretty easy show to predict. As I said, like the chamber prediction there, I'm not 100% on it, but it seems to be the most likely just by judging how things are going to happen. And I know that Ziggler is going to cash in. It makes sense right before Mania to do it and for them to continue the feud. And, their match is probably going to be the opening match anyway at Mania. It's not going to be, second to last, or definitely not go on last. That's going to be Punk and Taker are going to go on second to last. You're not going to have, Ziggler in the world title main event. And plus, they've kept the World Heavyweight Championship match as the opener for 2 years strong. So expect them to do the trifecta, the hat trick, the whatever the fuck you want to call it. So there it is. There's the predictions, and yeah. There you go.